Okay, I was trying to turn on this. I'm I'm live, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I had some network issues. I've been struggling with my network. Hi, hi. Okay. Hi, Sissy. I didn't see what. Oh, I'm saying hi, everybody. You're welcome back to another episode of Beauty Spotlight. Oh, it's on, right? Okay, okay. Or I was confused earlier. Welcome back, everybody. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm so sorry. I had some, hi, Sheila. I had some network issues. So you're welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we'll be talking about 4 tips. You're welcome, guys. Today we'll be talking about 4 tips to achieving a very flawless look. 4 tips to the right makeup techniques for a flawless finish. So that's why I'm here today. Oh, you're not feeling well. Sorry. So sorry. Welcome, everybody. The Bama family, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So if you're new here, you are welcome to join this beautiful, amazing family. Please don't forget to subscribe if you've not done so. And give me a thumbs up, please. So today we have a lot to do. I'm not going to waste too much time talking. So I'll be explaining every process. Okay, I'm not going to wait and talk and start applying the product. I'm going to be explaining it alongside because of the things we have to do today. So today, as you can see, I already have my brows done. I have my lashes. I have my eyeshadow done. Yeah, because we're already done with this section of the series. So if you missed it, please, you can refer back to my previous videos for that. You're going to get detailed video of eyebrow, eyeshadow, and all. So today we are talking about the skin. So let's start. First of all, the number one rule to getting a flawless finish is your base. You have to have a smooth base. So having a smooth base is very, very important. It's extremely important. It's as important as your foundation and your powder. So it's a step that you cannot even trade. It's not something to say you're not going to do. So the first thing we're going to do now is to clean our face. You have to make sure that, hi, BS, shaking my thing. You have to make sure that you have a clean base, a clean canvas. And please, you don't necessarily have to use the product I'm using. Can't even see. You don't necessarily have to use the product I'm using. You can just get what is available to you. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to clean our face to make sure that our face is clean. Always apply makeup, on a clean skin. I don't think I need it because I can't see it. You can use another so you have to clean your face. So I'm using a micellar water. Use a micellar water to clean your face, and a wipes. You can use a cotton pad for this, but I prefer to use wipes. So let me show you the difference of using a micellar water. So now you can use a wipe, just a wipe to clean your face, and your wipe might look clean, see? But if you use a micellar water, it deep cleans. It cleans your face way better. It takes off all the dirt. So guys, I'm struggling because I'm not used to doing my brows and eyeshadow before I do my face. Those are the two last things I do. But for a beginner, you need to, you see, although my face is a bit clean, but not so clean. So when we're done with that, the next thing you need is an hydrating spray. Everybody needs an hydrating spray. You need it. It's very important. I don't trade it for anything because it's something that sets your makeup from the scratch. You need an hydrating spray to help your skin to have a lot of moisture, to hold your product even better because your skin is supple. So I'm going to be using this one. You can get any hydrating spray basically. Like I said, you don't have to use the particular brand that I'm using. When it comes to makeup, you don't have to use a particular brand when it comes to makeup. So I'm still going to spray more. Then you can use your hand to massage it into your skin. My fan. Mm-hmm. Hi, Happy. Hi, Essence. So you have to make sure your hydrating spray is dried down a bit. So please let me let you guys know that this is a beginner process series. Do you understand? There are way more other steps you can do when it comes to skin prep, but because it's beginner friendly, I'm doing the basic kind of skin prep. It's very important, but it's basic, right? But it will still give you a very good result. So the next thing after your hydrating spray, we are going to go in with a moisturizer. You can get any moisturizer depending on the kind of skin you have. I think another time I'm going to talk about how to choose the kind of skin prep product for your skin. There are different skin types and there are different products. So there are moisturizers that are oil based, there are moisturizers that are water based. So you get the type that is good for your skin. Hi everybody, I'm so sorry we started a bit late. We had a bit of network issues. So you have to be generous with your moisturizer. So I have a very sensitive skin, it gets red easily. So in this particular class, we're not going to be using eye cream because we're doing the basic and the beginner friendly kind of makeup and steps that still gives us the flawless finish. What time is it now? At just some minutes past 6. I think I started like 10 minutes late. Okay, 24 minutes past 6 now. Okay, so we're done with our moisturizer. This is the reason why I don't like to do brows, and people that do that, they deserve some award. I like to do everything on a fresh skin. But because we're done with that particular class and I will not be doing it here. So now I'm done with the moisturizer. Just because we're in a hurry, I just want it to dry down a bit faster. So if I wasn't in a hurry, I'll just let it dry down naturally, right? But because we don't have so much time and we have a lot to do, So like I said, your base is very important. It sets the pace for every other thing you have to do. The next thing after your moisturizer is your primer. So I'm going to be using two types of primer. You don't have to use two type of primer. I was asking because I'm in the US. Was trying to figure out the time difference. Okay, this is like almost 6:30 p.m. So I'm going to be using the Milk primer and the Becca primer. So one is mattifying and one is just an hydrating primer. I'm using the mattifying one for my T-zones. I'm using the mattifying ones for my T-zones. So these are the T-zones here, here, this side, and here. So you can just draw an imaginary T on the face. So when it comes to makeup, you can make it work anyhow you feel like, because it's your face, you know your skin better. So I'm using the hydrating one all over my face, but I'm not going to put anything underneath my eyes. Please don't ever put primer under your eyes, no matter what. Avoid primers under your eyes. Then for primers, you have to know the kind of skin you have. If you have an oily skin, if you have an oily skin, you have to go for mattifying primers. If you have a dry skin, avoid mattifying primers, go for only hydrating products. So I'm going to use the mattifying one now on my T-zones because I get oily there. Then if you have a normal skin, you can basically use any type of primer. You know, people with normal skin, they get away with a lot of things. So sorry guys if I'm not seeing your messages. We're going to give like 10 minutes for 10 or 5 minutes. So if you notice, this part of my face looks drier compared to this side. These sides are still shiny and glowy. That's because I used the hydrating primer. And the milk, the good thing with this is like a makeup grip, and every skin can use it, even if you have oily skin. But the difference is if you have an oily skin, you still need to go in with a deeper and stronger mattifying primer. So after your primer, the next thing you're going to do is your foundation. Let me do this step. This is not beginner friendly, but because you're my favorite. So after your skin prep, before your foundation comes on, you go in with your setting spray. You use it all over your face. This is to like hold your skin prep. I'm going to use two shades of foundation. Remember our previous class, I already explained why you should use two shades of foundation. You should always have two shades of foundation. So if you don't know why we're using two shades of foundation, please watch our previous, I think the first class, our first class, where we talked about the essentials, what the makeup essentials. That was the first class, yeah. So we talked about foundation and why you should use two shades of foundation. So I'm going to mix that properly. Then, if you have one shade of foundation that works very well for you, why not? So I have like, sorry, you don't need everything I'm using. Remember, I explained that earlier. I can as well do this process at the back of my hands, but I just feel like doing it on the pan. You can mix at the back of your hand, which is very fine. So I'm going to be using I'm going to be using the the beauty sponge. It's damp. Remember we talked about it in our previous class. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. So this is a perfect match for me. So I prefer to use sponges for my foundation application. Why? Because it makes it easier and faster. It blends faster for me. Like cases like this now that I don't have time to go in with a brush, because if I use a brush, I will still have to go in with the blender. So I rather just go in directly with. So if you notice, I'm going beneath my jaw, but I'm not adding product. I'm just using the same product that the what is left on the brush to go below. But all depends on what you're wearing though. If you're wearing white, if you're going to be wearing white, avoid product there. So I'm going to do another class strictly for oily skin, for how to apply your foundation for it to stay longer than this. There are different ways of applying makeup. The end result is what matters. So if you notice, I didn't put the foundation directly below my eyes. Hi, Happy. Please take note of how I'm doing the application. See, I'm blending out now with the other part that didn't have product on. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more to cover these areas. Can you see how beautiful it looks? Well blended. So when you use the sponge for your foundation, even when you're in a hurry, you can still get a smooth blend. Now, don't forget, if you did not do the first step, which was the skin prep, you will not get what we are getting now. You won't get it. Trust me, there's no magic. So we're done with that. Okay, I think this works. So the next thing we're going to do now, I still have a little bit of foundation left. Might come in handy. I just leave it there. The next thing we're going to use is our concealer. I'm not going to be teaching you cream contour in this particular class because this is a beginner class. So I don't want to overwhelm you with too many steps. I want you to get it stage by stage, okay? I'm going to be using 2 shades of concealer. One shade that is almost my skin tone, then another shade that is lighter. One of the reason is to prevent flashback. So there are different types of concealer too. You still have to consider your kind of skin. When it comes to makeup, there's products for every skin type. It's just for you to discover the one that works for you. And when you're buying product, oh, what I mean by flashback is, sorry, I'm just Sometimes I forget that I'm doing a beginner class. So basically, flashback is when you take pictures and you see that you're looking grayish. That's flashback. If you do your makeup properly, you use the right product, even when you take pictures at night, you're not going to have the gray effect. So I'm going to go in with the shade that is close to my skin. What this does is to cover up any circle I have. I'm sorry, guys. Please ask your questions because sometimes I might just get too into it and forget. So I'm going to show you the difference. Why it's good to use two shades of concealer. See? Can you see my eyes? Look at this place and look at this one. There's a big difference, right? So if you use the first shade that is close to your skin or exactly your skin tone, then you use a lighter one on it. But if you go in directly with a lighter concealer, it will be giving you a gray cast to age you. So concealer, we apply concealer on the T-zones, that's underneath our eyes, here, the bridge of our nose, our chin, and our forehead. Okay, I didn't apply foundation under my eyes because number one, I don't want to make under my eyes heavy. I don't want to make under my eyes heavy. That's the reason. That's number one reason. And to prevent creasing. Most times when you have too much product under your eyes, it becomes heavy, and that is where creasing starts. So I'm using a brush first to apply my concealer so that it will be easier for me to blend out with the beauty blender. Okay. So if you use your skin tone, oh, don't take. Of course, we keep learning. We always learn, so it's not a bad thing. It's good to make mistakes. That way you learn and you will not repeat them again. Okay, that is good. Then we're going to go in with the lighter one now. So in another class, I'm going to show you how to conceal, and I'm going to show you how to highlight and contour with a cream. So this class we're doing powder contour, we're not doing cream. So like this now, it's very okay for me to use my lighter shade. You're going to see the difference, what the lighter shade is going to do. So I'm going to put a little on the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my chin. So if you have a very long face, like an oblong face, avoid putting concealer on your chin, because the essence of concealer, we're trying to make a particular part of our face to be obvious, to be pronounced, right? So if you now use concealer, if your face is very long, you now use concealer on your chin, it's going to drag it. So we with round face, we're trying to get like an a chiseled face a little bit. So we're trying to mimic it. So you that already have it, you're naturally blessed with that. You don't need it here. So if I was going to do a cream contour, this is the stage I'm still going to do that. But in this class, we're not doing that. So for your blending, you have to blend from the outer part of the concealer before you go in. You don't start from inside, you blend from the outer part of your concealer. Don't forget your beauty blender has to be damp and not wet. So in the course of this series, you guys are going to be seeing a lot of different ways of applying makeup and a lot of steps, because this is a beginner friendly. Those that have after yeah, but that's the truth. If you have a round face, you're concealing just to achieve a slimmer looking face. Can you station it? Mm, yeah. So we have a nice blend now. So can you see? Okay, so when you're done with your concealing, the next thing you're going to do is setting powder. Some people like to go in with a compact powder to set the concealer before they use setting powder. But personally, I don't do that because I feel like it makes it too heavy. So the compact powders are already heavy, so I don't see reason why I should go in directly on the concealer with the compact powder. So I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier setting powder, translucent. This one is a translucent shade. So if you're dark skin, you can get the other shade of setting powder. Thank you, Fifi. So so before you put your setting powder, make sure to blend out your under eyes again. You have to blend before you put the setting powder. Why? Because you get whatever you set. So if there are lines under your eyes, if there are lines under your eyes and you just go straight in with the setting powder, it's going to show you a lot of lines. It's going to crease even more. So you have to make sure that there are no lines. So you have to blend out. Like now I can see some lines underneath. I still want to put a little bit of concealer under this particular eyes, just a little, because I feel like I over blended it out. Hi Didi. Okay, so I'm going to use the other part of the beauty blender now to blend, because I'm trying to reduce the product. Can you see? It's smooth. So because I want the lower part of my eyes, under my eyes, to be brighter, that's the reason why I'm using a lighter concealer there. So if we had done a cream contour now, the face would have had a bit of definition. But so I'm going to go in now with, wow, what was that? Something just popped up. Oh, I'm seeing money. Okay. Thank you, Sissy. You have to tell me how that works. So I'm going to go in now with the setting powder and a sponge. You can still use same beauty blender you use for the concealer, but I just feel like using this. So when I take, I'm just going to reduce it. See, look at what came out from the brush. Why? Because I like to go in with smaller quantity of setting powder at a time. Oh, what's super chat? So I want to set this side too, but I need to blend out. I don't know if you can see, there are lines. There are lines, so I need to blend it out before. I'm going in again with the setting powder, and I'm like reducing it because I don't want too much. What we're doing now, we're setting. So setting is different from baking, right? Setting, you're taking very little amount of the setting powder to place on all the places that you applied your concealer. So in makeup, how you place your product placement, that's the like the second thing, right, on our flyer. Product placement is very, very important. How you place your product, it has a role to play in how your makeup appears. So what I'm doing, guys, I'm still using the same setting powder to apply, to set all the places we've applied the concealer. That's what I'm doing. Let me see the comments. Sorry, because we're behind schedule, so I'm just. People loves money. Oh. How do you choose the perfect skin powder for our skin color? Oh, okay. So for powder, it's always advisable to buy your powder with your foundation. So you can always take your foundation to the store you want to buy so that you know the exact shade. You always buy for powder, you can do your exact skin tone. But like the other class, I said it's good to have more than one shade. Yes, Didi, I like money, you know. So what I'm doing, I'm just using my brush. Okay, setting powder. Oh, let's try to go for. Okay, Didi has answered it. Okay, no problem. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to be fast since we're running out of time. So now I've already set, this week keeps going back. So I've already set my all my concealers. Okay. You guys are spoiling me today. So I've set my concealer. So the next thing I want to do now is to go in with our powder. So I'm going to go in with the face powder. I'm going in with Milani powder. So when you're done with your setting powder underneath your eyes, the next thing, so I'm going to go in now with my face, the same shade. So now there's something I want to show you guys. So because we're not doing cream contour, right? And like I told you in the previous class, this is a place for our contour. This is the place, the side of the face from the ear, the top of your ear down. You see there's a depth here, so that's where your contour should be. But now since we're not doing cream contour, we're just doing powder contour, I'm not going to overly mattify that area. Because why? I want the powder contour to show, I want it to be visible, and I want it to stay in place. I don't want it to fade off later. So I'm not going to powder that place too much the way I would powder every other part of my face. I'm just going to like swipe the brush there with whatever that is left on the brush. That's another trick to having the cream contour effect without actually using cream contour. I hope you guys are learning something at least. So we're done with our face powder now. What we're going to do now is our contour shade. I'm going to be using this from MAC. So for contour, I always advise you do two shades darker than your skin tone if you want it to be very pronounced. But that's two shades when you did not do cream contour. But if you did cream contour, you can always do one shade. Okay, I'm happy you're learning something. So if you did cream contour, you can use just one shade darker than your skin for your contour. But if you did not do cream contour, you have to use two shade darker. Why? Because if you use just one shade darker than your skin, it's going to fade off. With time, it's going to fade or going to blend into your skin. Then later it's going to look like you didn't do contour. So that's why I advise two shades if you're not doing cream contour. So I have two shades here of this is the mineralized in dark. This is lighter. So this is darker and this is the Studio Fix. So why I'm using this one and this is because this might be a little bit too dark for me. So I want to use this to blend it. You're amazing. So what does all these things mean? I'm seeing dollar signs. I like money. So you guys, what are you guys giving me? Should I start dancing? So I'm going to go in. So remember our previous class, I said when you take, anytime you take product, do like this. Just dust off the excess. So the easiest way for you as a beginner to so that you can see what I'm doing. So the easiest way for you as a beginner to be able to know your contour placement properly, you can just smile a little bit, okay? The way you smile when you want to apply blush. When you smile a little bit, you can see the lines. You can see there's a line there. So you just start from the highest point, then you blend upwards. Don't bring your contour too down because what we are trying to do is to lift the face. I can do this without having to smile, but I'm doing that so that you can see where you place your contour. Your contour has to be below your blush because your blush is supposed to be above. Yes, the smile hack helps. Q is fine. She's supposed to be on this live, but I guess she's busy. I forgot to even send the link to her. She told me to let her know when I was coming live. So you see, the smile hack works for a beginner. You won't have to bother about where you should place your contour. So you take your contour into your forehead, the lines, your hairline, right? You take it into your hairline. So if you're light skin, you should avoid putting much of dark product on your forehead. Why? Because it's going to be so obvious that you applied product there because you're light skin. But if you're dark skin, you can bring your contour all the way down here. Trust me, it's still going to come out beautifully. I envy dark skinned. I envy you guys because there's a lot you can do on your face with makeup. Thank you. Okay, I'm happy you're learning. So, the truth is, I think the camera is fading off my contour because with my mirror, my contour is dark enough. Trust me. Ah, it's scary if you do much. So I'm going to put just what is left on the brush. I'm going to do it size of my jaw like this. Why? Because remember I said we're trying to make our face look slimmer. I love money. I love money. Don't worry. My friends know me. They know I love money. So see, you blend into your jaw. Okay, the contour is showing. On my own phone is not showing. So when we're done with that, we're going to do the nose contour now. So for our nose, I like to contour the beginning should be here, just beneath your eyebrow here. So we're going to create a V shape. Blend, 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 blend. When it comes to makeup, please don't get tired of blending. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be too tired to blend. So what I do is with my nose contour, I blend it into my eyeshadow. That's the upper part. Then below my brows, the one thing I struggle with is the nose contour. Okay, then you're right on time. So you have to be like very, 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 very attentive. Just watch. Like I said earlier, you bring it below your brows so that there is no demarcation from your brows and your nose contour. You're going to give that illusion of a straight nose, a pointed nose, even if we know it's not there, but it's an illusion. That's what makeup does, illusion. So you apply your nose contour with a blending brush. It makes it easier for you. That way, as you're applying it, you're blending. So when you're done blending to this side of your nose, that's the two. You can use your eyes as the guide for you. You can use your eyes. So where your eyes stops here, that's where your V should stop. Then when you're done, you can now take what is left from the brush to go down the bridge of your nose. And please make sure that your nose contour is not too dark. Thank you, Leonard. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put our setting powder underneath our eyes to bake. Now we're going to bake. What baking does is it keeps, I'm just trying to blend out the setting powder that was there in case there's any lines. So what baking does, it helps to, and the concealer you've kept there before, it helps to even enhance it and even keep it last longer. That's what it does. And baking helps to keep under your eyes to pop more. I'm going to be using a brush. So baking is different from setting. Baking, you put more than the setting and you're going to dust it off. You're going to see the difference when you bake and when you just set. You can use you don't have to use a brush. You can use the same beauty blender. Okay. So this is the scary part of makeup. When the guys see this part, they'll be like, you have too much makeup on. That's because this is the baking stage. This is the baking stage, the scary stage. So if you want to make your contour more pronounced, more defined, you can use your setting powder below your contour. So remember, when you smile, you see your contour line, you use this below it. This is just to make your contour a bit more defined. So for placement, you already know where your contour should be. Then your blush should be above your contour. Your contour is below. Okay. I look scary, right? Don't worry, we're going to blend all that out. That is why we have what is called blending in makeup. Now, some people don't like blush. We're still on placement and blending. So some people don't like blush. I don't know why, but I feel like blush has a way of taking your makeup to the next level. It has a way of adding color to the face. That is what blush does. It gives color to your face because naturally we have some flush of colors on our face. When you smile too much, you have a little bit of color. Even if you don't notice, there's color there. So it's a natural thing. So what we are using makeup to do is to mimic the natural things are already on our face. So this is the blush I'm using. It's a blush palette. I'm going to be using this shade and this shade, these two shades. Sometimes I use the three of them. It all depends on my mood. But now I'm going to be using, so the same thing you do again, you smile for your blush placement, then you start from the middle. Then what is left on your blush is what you bring to your cheek. Please don't take blush and place on your cheek, on the apple of your cheek like this. No, place it upwards, then you blend it. If possible, you blend it into your contour. Then what is left, you can bring it to your cheek. I like to put a bit of blush on my nose. Like I said, I'm mimicking the natural blush on our skin. But if you notice, I did not apply product on the blush to put on my nose so that we don't look funny. Your blush should always be at the top before you even bring it down. So you blend it upward, blend it into your contour. Yeah, I'm a blush girl. So if you don't like blush, you can skip this process. But trust me, blush is important in makeup. So as you're doing your makeup, you're blending. It makes everything easier for you. So yeah, very little. If you can see the difference the blush has done on the face, do you need separate brushes for all of this? Yeah, you need you need more than, let's say, 5 brushes at least. So this same blush brush, you can use it for your contour. So your contour brush can still be your blush brush. That's one brush for two things. then your powder brush, then your concealer brush, then the for the blending brushes, you already know we talked about that earlier, is for the eye area. So what we are doing now, we are blending out this. I'm still going to leave the one underneath the eyes because I want it to really set my under eye properly. Now, placement of highlights. I remember the last class, somebody was asking about that. I don't know if she's here today. The person that wanted to learn how to place highlights. This is the perfect class for her. So, what we are going to do now is our highlight placement. Let me just. So, for underneath your eyes, you will need a lighter powder for underneath your eyes. Like now, remember, how long do we leave the powder on? You can leave it till, if you notice I did not, yeah, you need more brushes. If you notice I did not put the powder underneath my eyes since when we finished working under the eyes, I had to do some other things before I put it. That's because you don't have to leave it long for too long. There's no particular time, trust me. As long as you set your eyes first, there's no particular time. I leave my setting powder underneath my eyes most times till when I'm even almost done with my makeup. That's because I don't use it at the beginning after setting my eyes. So the good thing of setting your eyes is it holds the concealer in place till when you need to bake. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my highlighter now. Then we're going to do the lips. Now for me, like I said, because this is a beginner class, there are a lot of things I'm not going to do. Normally, there are other things I would have done to my makeup now, but I'm not going to do that. I just want to show you that even without doing so much steps on your makeup, you can still get a good result. That is what I'm aiming at. If not, there are some other things I would have done. So I want to use this highlight. I'm using two shades of highlights. Why? Because this one is not going to be so visible on my skin, and using just this one might be too light for my skin. So you can just get for personal use, the gold deposit is very okay, trust me. But just I'm so used to using more than one thing for makeup. So now your highlight placement is directly above your blush and into your blush. So the highest point of your face, that is where your highlight should be. So you're going to put it above the blush, then you blend it into the blush. If you're someone that really likes highlights, you can put more. Thank you, L'Oreal. L'Oreal. Is it Lori? Thank you. Remember the smiling tip? That is a hack. Very easy for beginners to know how to place products. So if you're a minimalist and you don't like highlights, this is okay. This is very, very okay. So I'm going to use the lightest highlighter as the last one. But now I want to use a small brush to apply on the bridge of my nose. Can you see? It's too much, so I'm going to use my hands to blend it out. So I don't advise taking highlighter from beginning to the end. Don't apply your highlighter straight down. Don't do that. Apply your highlighter here, the bridge and the tip of your nose. The bridge and the tip of your nose. That way, that when someone is looking at you, they're not seeing a long line of something shiny on your nose. It's always weird when it's like that. Yeah, don't put it that way. So when you do it year and year, it's still going to show. It's still going to give you that pointed nose effect you're looking for. Thank you, Laurie. So I'm using my highlighter on the cupid on my upper lip. So what this does is it helps to show the natural shape of my lip. I'll be able to line it if I want to go over my lip or below my lip. Way easier for me that way. So I want to do the first stage of setting spray before I do the lip. Now I'm going to dust this off. Do you see the difference when we set and when we bake? So I'm going to use my powder brush to blend my full face. Okay. So I want to use the dark MAC mineralized to kind of bronze my face. You can skip this process. It's not really a must. It's just for me to I'm trying to add like more definition to my face. So the next class I'm going to show you people the other process of doing your makeup. So we're going to do the first stage of setting. Our first stage of setting, there are different stages. So I'm going to need a fan. Why do I feel like I can't see my contour? I can't seem to see my contour. My contour showing. Hmm. So there's no product on my brush. I'm still blending. So what I want to do now, underneath my eyes, I want to use eyeshadow like what we did some days ago, the last class. Remember after the eyeshadow? Okay, thank you. Remember after the eyeshadow, we went underneath with the shade we use for our transitioning. So that's what I want to do now. So add definition to under the eyes. If you missed our eyeshadow class, guys, please refer back to it. That was just our. If you tear a lot, you can skip this process, please. If you tear a lot, avoid a lot of steps that have to do with underneath your eyes and inside your eyes. Hi, boss man. Okay, I think this worked. So I want to brighten my outer eyes just a little bit on the inner corner of my eyes. So this is, if you notice, and the flyer, it says the finishing. So this is what we are doing now. We're doing the finishing to make sure everything is in place. So we're going to do the lips. I'll be doing a nude lipstick. I'm going to be using this lip palette. I'm going to use a lip palette to, then I'm going to use this nude lipstick, and this is another brown. So I'm going to use like 3 shades. I will use the pink shade from here, this nude, and this brown. So if you want to outline your lip, it's always good to close your lips like this, not tightly, just a little. That way you see the actual shape of your lip. Even when you want to line just below, just look at your lip, do like a little, so you can see the lines. So it's left for you if you want to do above, if you want to do like a full lip, or you want to do your natural lip size. So now I'm not going to do a full lip. If you want to do a full lip, it means you're going like this way. If I'm supposed to do a full lip now, I'll go from there. I'm going to line above my natural lip. That is the full lip effect if you want to achieve that. So I'm drawing like a V. You can only get that when you do your lip like this. We're going to have like 5 minutes for questions. I'm sure I've missed a lot of questions in the comment. So if you're using a matte lipstick, if you want to put on a matte lipstick, please make sure that your lips are moisturized. So you see, um, guys, can you guys still see me? Why do I feel like I'm no longer here? So I'm going to go in with this shade here. This is like a flesh tone. Okay, this is like a flesh tone. You see, it's like my lip color. I wasn't seeing any messages, so I felt my network has gone off. See, so this is like a flesh tone, mimics your natural lip shade. I love this palette so much. It's a palette that you can travel with. It has all the shade you need. Thank you. We're going to go. So what I'm doing now is I'm using what is left from the brush. Excuse me. I'm using what is left from the brush to blend into the brown. That way you don't want any space left. So when it comes to makeup, nothing should stand on its own. You're trying to make everything look like is one. That is why despite all the product we apply on our face, it still looks like we didn't do anything. That's the power of blending. You see? So now I want to make this more defined. I want it brighter than this. I'm going to go in with this nude just in the middle. I'm not going to spread that all over. So now I'm just patting. Then I'm going to smack just a little. If you want it brighter again, you can. I want it a bit brighter. Okay. So I want to blend it properly. So I'm taking a paper towel. I'm taking a paper towel to clean off the nude on it. That's when you don't want to change brushes though. I don't change brushes, so then I want to blend it properly without adding product. So I still want to go in with the sorry, I didn't show you guys. I went in with the darker brown for my upper lip because I want to make it more defined. Okay, so I want to go in with a pinkish gloss. This is a gloss. So I'm just going to smack just a little. Yeah. I'm going in with my final gloss. I'm using the Fenty Confetti. So this one now I'm going to take it up. Okay. So how does everything look? Where's my blush? I just want to add a little bit of my blush. A little. I'm using the lightest shade. I just feel like my face needs to pop a little bit. Okay. So remember I said you need a lighter shade of powder. Thank you. You need a lighter shade of powder for underneath your eyes. That's what I want to do now. Don't forget, we had not used any powder under our eyes, just setting powder we have there and concealer. So I'll take this and I'll dust off just a little in a pattern. We're not rubbing. We're not rubbing. Remember, everything we're doing is patting motion, pressing, patting, pressing. Those are the ways, the technique. So I'm pressing in. You see? So let me just do my nose a little bit more. Then we're done. So mascara underneath our eyes for our lower lash. You see the effect. Please, if you tear a lot, ignore this. Okay. I want to spray now, the final spray. So I want the mascara to dry. I think I cleaned a bit of my brows. Let me see. Do I have my okay? I have my pencil. Yeah, I'll just touch up the tail of my brows. These are the disadvantages of doing your brows first and your eyeshadow. You can make some little errors. So if you're the type that do your brows before your makeup, after you're done, you can go in with your pencil again. Like me now, I don't do my brows first. My brow is one of the last things I do. So I don't do this step because I mean I do it after the whole skin. Okay, I think we're done. So I'm going to go in with a last spray. So this is the glow spray. You can skip this process. I mean, you can get the setting spray that does the job. The milk too has a very nice spray that you don't need any extra spray. So I'm going to go in with this as the last spray. Sorry, I like sprays a lot. So we're done. What I want to do now is just the eyeshadow. This is the shade I used. I just want to use it to pop. Due to the sprays, the yellow on my eyes has reduced its intensity. So guys, we're done. You can pop out your questions now. I'm ready for you. I'm ready, 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 ready for you. Hope you like this look. Okay. If you want to know how to do your eyeshadow, please watch our last video. We're done. Any questions? 5 minutes for questions and we are done. So this is the finished look. You can go in after. Thank you. Hi Diony. So after your sprays and everything, you can go in with your beauty blender or your um powder brush just to blend everything in. So this is makeup. This is how makeup looks, right? Makeup is supposed to look like makeup. Your skin is supposed to look like skin, right? So this is how makeup looks beyond the edited, the filtered versions we see online. This is how makeup looks in its raw form, in its raw state. No edits, nothing. So this is the basic form of makeup. Trust me. It can get better than this. But with time, we're going to do more advanced steps of makeup. But this one is basic, beginner friendly, that is that still comes out very nice. It's all about your blending, all about your placement. Remember what we said about placement, very important. Your blending, very important. So just take note of those things. Know where to place your products, know how to deal with your brushes, how you apply your product, your color matching. Everything should go. It makes it easier for you. Then your work is going to come out nice. So let me see if I missed any questions, then we can go. No questions, that means okay. We are good student paying attention. Okay, no questions. So does that mean everything is well understood? This has been a very detailed class. Thank you. Thank you, Zonti. Thank you, everybody that's been here. Thank you for paying attention. I hope you practice and let me know the outcome, okay? Hi, everybody that I didn't say hi to. You're welcome back to my channel for people that are just joining. And if this is your first time, please subscribe if you've not done so and give this live a thumbs up. So since there's no question, we don't have questions, then we can go, right? Can we go? Thank you guys for watching. I'm so sorry for starting late today. Our next class is on Sunday. I'll see you guys on Sunday. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Please don't forget to always check our videos, turn on the bell icon so that you can always get notified. Say no, let's stay. Thank you guys for sticking with me. See you next time. Bye.